News4Jax starts right now with a breaking news alert.
Breaking news about Jacksonville's beaches. The mayor's just held a news conference. You saw it live here on Channel 4. We've also just learned St. Johns County plans to reopen its beaches starting tomorrow at 6 a.m. to noon, 7 days a week. It is on the heels of the beaches mayors announcing the rules to reopen Duval County's beaches. This is a live look from our Jacksonville Beach Skycam. No one's out there right now, but in 5 hours, people will be allowed back there. Now, the beaches mayors just wrapped up a news conference where they reiterated the beaches are not open for partying and sunbathing. They will be open during certain hours for those who want to get some exercise or walk their dogs.
You have to keep moving. So the mayors say how long the beaches remain open really is 100% dependent on how well beachgoers follow the rules. News4Jax reporter Ashley Harding joins us now live from Jacksonville Beach. They were very specific, Ashley, about what people can and cannot do.
All three mayors want to make it clear that they are prepared to roll these privileges back and then close the beaches again if people do not follow the rules. They want to make it known that sunbathing will not be allowed. And you can see that sign there says beach is closed, but it is going to come up in about 5 hours. And while people will be welcome here on the beach, a number of things will not be. Here they are. Take a look. What will not be allowed are towels, coolers, blankets, and chairs. They are not allowed on the beach. And the mayors also said if you do come here to the beach, you must keep it moving, exercise, and then go home. Here's what you can do: walking, biking, hiking, fishing, running, swimming, taking care of your pets, as well as surfing. Now, the mayors also warned that if you do these things, you do so at your own risk because there may not be a lifeguard presence. As always, you must stick to social distancing guidelines and stay at least 6 feet away from the person next to you. Now, the beaches will be open from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. each morning and from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. each evening. They will remain closed during all other time periods. Now, the mayors again say there is a method behind this. They believe it will help with crowd control and people must follow these rules. Here's what they told us.
It really depends on the cooperation of people and educating people on the risks that they take when they don't social distance. Parents, tell your kids that.
The point of having the 2 periods is to break up the time a little bit so that we don't see the large crowds here. We're still not set up for summer hours, and because we've got so many people working at home, we're expecting the crowds are going to be pretty substantial.
Once again, the beaches are officially reopening at 5 o'clock tonight with those limitations in place. My colleague Vic Michelucci will be doing live shots here starting at 4 and then at 5 and at 6 o'clock tonight. Reporting live, Ashley Harding, Channel 4, the local station.
Now, public parking will be limited in Jax Beach. Visitors can only park west of 1st Street. All public parking lots and end zones continue to be closed. In Atlantic Beach, visitors will not be able to park at the 2 main accesses. No parking at 17th and 18th Streets as well. Just into the newsroom, officials in St. Johns County are also partially reopening their beaches. This is a look from our Guy Harvey Skycam in St. Augustine. That announcement came into the newsroom about 20 minutes ago. Beaches will be open every day, but just in the morning hours from 6 a.m. until noon for physical activity. Those activities include walking, running, surfing, swimming, and biking. You can't sit on the sand. You can't stay around on the sand. You can't sun in the sand. Officials also caution lifeguards may not be on duty, so swimming or surfing should be done with caution. In Nassau County, officials are keeping their beaches closed for now. During a special meeting this morning, local leaders made it clear they were not pleased with Mayor Lenny Curry's decision to open Duval County beaches. County commissioners said they thought the beaches in our area would be reopened with a regional approach. Nassau County officials say they plan to revisit the issue in their county next week.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says the state is making great progress fixing the problems that have plagued the unemployment system. During a news conference this morning, the governor specifically acknowledged that the state was not prepared for the hundreds of thousands of new applicants who have applied during the last 3 weeks or so. But he says they have been working hard to make it easier, including adding 100 new servers to help improve the Department of Economic Opportunity's website.
We need to make sure the folks that have been displaced are able to get back on their feet. And one of the things we've been working hard on is getting this reemployment assistance working better. So when this started, the system was overwhelmed. They didn't have the capacity and manpower either. And we said, we've got to fix this. We've got to put all hands on deck to get this done. And we've made it our #1 economic priority in the state of Florida. And so I have staff not only from the Department of Economic Opportunity, but also the Department of Management Service working round the clock. There's been huge changes made to this system, and I'll talk about the results. They're really going in a good direction. We got to do more. They're good.
Governor DeSantis says that his office has also identified 2,000 state employees who will now help with unemployment filings. He says 1,000 of those workers are already actively working cases, and the state will add as many more as needed.
President Trump revealed the White House's new guidelines for opening up America again. Some states could reopen as soon as today. The president's given governors the ultimate authority to make decisions as to how and when. He says 29 states are ready to reopen based on his new guidelines. That's his take. The roadmap given to states is broken down in 3 phases. Take a look at phase 1. Restaurants, movie theaters, sporting venues, and gyms can reopen as long as they observe strict social distancing. Schools and bars should remain closed in this phase, and high-risk individuals should remain home. Look at phase 2. Schools, daycares, and camps can reopen. Non-essential travel can also resume. Parks, shopping centers, and bars could also reopen, but people should still avoid groups of 50 people or more. Restaurants and movie theaters would see relaxed social distancing, but limits on visitors at senior living facilities and hospitals, they remain in place. Phase 3 would kick in when states see no evidence of a rebound in coronavirus cases. Visits to long-term care facilities could resume. Vulnerable individuals could go out in public, and large venues could operate with limited social distancing. But again, that is up to local municipalities. In America's pandemic epicenter, New York recorded its fewest deaths in 10 days. Despite that, Governor Cuomo says they are not ready to reopen.
Why don't you open tomorrow? Because we're afraid the infection rate will go up. We've been watching the nursing homes because nursing homes in many ways are ground zero for this situation.
State is seeing about 2,000 new cases a day. Yesterday, Governor Cuomo extended the state's stay-at-home order until at least mid-May, May 15th. New York's one of more than a dozen states that have chosen to extend their stay-at-home orders.
So this all comes as researchers at the University of Washington are expected to update their pandemic model later today. Now, the model is often used by President Trump's team. The update will show whether the United States is making progress against the virus. Now, new numbers released just about an hour ago show that Florida has more than 24,000 people who have tested positive for the virus. In the past 24 hours, there have been 1,222 new cases. At least 686 people have died.
In Northeast Florida, there's a new death in St. Johns County. A 56-year-old man. Case was travel-related. He had contact with a confirmed case. That brings the total number of deaths in the county to 4. St. Johns County now has 185 confirmed cases. Duval County still has the most in the area at nearly 800. Alachua, 202. Clay has 195. The rest of the counties in the area, fewer than 100.
In Georgia, there are now more than 16,000 people who have the virus. At least 617 have died in the state. The first session of COVID-19 testing at the Twin Towers apartments just finished at the top of the hour. The testing is being done by UF Health, targeting specifically Jacksonville's underserved communities. It's operating as a walk-up site as long as supplies last. The next session is scheduled to start at 1 o'clock, so in less than an hour, and they'll end at 4 in the afternoon. The focus is to test people who are 65 and older and those who have a UF Health physician. Next week, testing will move to another Brentwood community. Testing also continues this afternoon at the Lot J testing site at TIA Bank Field in downtown Jacksonville. The Florida National Guard is now able to test up to 750 people each day, which is an increase from the 400 test daily limit that was originally planned earlier this week. The site is open 7 days a week from 9 in the morning until 5 in the afternoon or until the daily limit of tests is reached. To be tested, you must have respiratory symptoms of COVID-19 or have come into contact with someone who is infected. Healthcare workers and first responders can also be tested and do not have to have any symptoms. In addition to those testing sites, there is also a testing site at the Prime Osborne Convention Center. It is open every day from 11 in the morning until 7 in the evening. You do, however, have to have a physician's order and an appointment through Telescope Health. The drive-through site at Ascension St. Vincent's just closed for the week. It will reopen Monday morning at 8. You do have to be pre-screened online or by phone by an Ascension provider. You can schedule that appointment by dialing 833-981-0712. The waiting period for test results is between 3 and 5 days. The Mayo Clinic also has a testing site only for Mayo Clinic patients. However, that testing is from 8 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon, Monday through Friday.
Officials in Wuhan, China have revised the city's COVID-19 death toll. Nearly 1,300 new deaths were added, raising the total in the city to more than 3,800. Total number of cases in Wuhan has also increased to more than 50,000. Local health officials say the deaths had gone uncounted because in the early stages of the pandemic, some people died at home, and medics were focused on treating cases rather than reporting deaths. This is not the first time Chinese health officials changed the country's COVID-19 numbers. Government changed the way it counted cases 3 times in January and February.
Frontline workers all across our area, as we know, are putting their lives at risk in the face of the coronavirus pandemic, working nonstop, sometimes without even thinking about a meal. News4Jax has launched Food for Frontline, a community-wide effort to help both frontline workers and also local restaurants to donate meals to Jacksonville area hospitals through Food for Frontline. You can start the process by going to the web address you see there on your screen. It's 4, thefrontline.news4jax.com. Thank you for helping these heroes.
Coming up, after spending more than 2 weeks in the hospital with COVID-19, a Florida teenager is now home with her family.
Doctor said, there is no hope for your daughter.
You imagine hearing that. The reason they felt that way, a grim prognosis for this young lady. That's ahead.
But first, a Florida inmate released from jail to help flatten the curve is now back behind bars.
The violent crime he is now accused of committing the day after he was set free.